transitioning from Disney to this was easy. I don't know, getting molested from your 6 to your 14 seems like way harder circumstances, or being physically abused all the time seems like a much more difficult situation than have paparazzi following you since you were 12. I don't know. I was still being molested when paparazzi were still following me. So it's pretty hard in my mind to think about these big flashlight photographs and everyone thinking they know me and talking about me, but having no idea the type of mistreatment that I was still dealing with at that time, that everyone around me saw and did nothing. So I don't know. You tell me what's so hard.
Think of this celebrity, I don't know about you guys, but what automatically comes to my head is the girl from Shake It Up, and just the unhinged wild girl that turned into this weird rebellious person after her time at Disney. Honestly, Bella Thorne has never really been an A-list celebrity in my eyes. She's always just been there, and every so often when I see her, you know, playing different TV shows or movies, I'm kind of just like, oh yeah, I forgot she's still like existing and is still doing her thing. And it got me thinking about how long she's just been on social media and in the entertainment world as a whole. And I think a lot of us, including myself, has just always had this preconceived notion of who Bella Thorne is. But I think that social media as a whole, and just the world in general, and how it's set up and structured and how the system is, really aided to how Bella Thorne is now. Is this video like a whole biography over Bella Thorne's entire life? No. But I really just wanted to tell just a sliver of her story. From plastic surgery to purposely leaking her own nudes, Annabella Avery Thorne was born in Pembroke Pines, Florida on October 8, 1997. And just like many other kids, she and her other 3 older siblings grew up poor. And basically all her life, Bella's worked as a model and an actress. She talked about how she learned a lot about work ethics and whatnot, since she basically had no choice but to work when she was younger as a kid. And her dad was Cuban, and so her first language was actually Spanish. And just trying to navigate acting in school was just very difficult for her, and it didn't make it any easier that in 1st grade she was actually diagnosed with dyslexia, and she was bullied a lot at school, which was of course really sad. And so she and her family eventually moved to California, everyone except for her dad. And before her dad got to leave to go to California, he got in a motorcycle accident and died in 2007. And after this, Bella's family went from being stable to the opposite, just like that. She now had a mom with 4 kids, raising them by herself in one of the most expensive places in America to raise a family. And at this time, Bella's family were, you know, kind of barely scraping by. They were literally living off coupons to use for food. And this was kind of around the time that Bella got her most iconic role of Cece from the TV show Shake It Up. And she talked about how she got this role to essentially keep her family off the streets.
When you got involved in the Disney funnel, because I read somewhere you only did that because you were about to become homeless.
Yes. Yep. We were a very poor family growing up. Then it was like, shake it up, or what's your other option?
And this is the role that most people think of to this day when they think of Bella Thorne. And I don't know if I'm stupid, but I did not know Bella is not an actual redhead. I mean, this honestly shocked me to my core. Anyway, we've all seen the continuous pattern of how Disney operates and how they've treated their actors in the past. And this is with, you know, any like production with kids, you know, Nickelodeon and all these other franchises that had a lot of issues with child actors and how they weren't treating them right, and how crazy it was back in the day for them, and how they just weren't protected. Bella talked about how when you worked for Disney, you were expected to always just have this perfect image and to always say the right thing. People expected you to have this PG lifestyle no matter what age you were, and if you step 1 foot out of line, then you're crucified. So while Bella was on Shake It Up, she was spotted wearing a bikini at like 13 or 14 years old and almost got fired from from Disney because of it. Mind you, that there were 13, 14-year-olds wearing bikinis at the beach all the time, but because she worked for Disney, it was like this whole big ordeal.
You think that we're going crazy, but really we're just like, I can't do that anymore. I can't fake this anymore. I can't live in this character you so badly want me to be.
That's kind of like the level that Disney is on. And similar situations like that continue to happen, not only for her, but for other childhood, Disney stars. And so when the show finally ended in 2013, she was told that she needed to keep this image of being the perfect pretty princess that does nothing wrong. So she catered to that image, and she came out with that song, Call It Whatever. And she was like 17 or 18 years old, shooting a music video in a pink tutu skirt. So finally, of course, she was like, no, I'm gonna be the person I want to be. So she came out as bi and eventually pansexual. She started making music she wanted to make and taking jobs that were just more adult themed. And this is where we kind of started to see a different side of Bella Thorne. And I think because people were so used to that squeaky clean image that she carried, when we saw her with like the piercings and the crazy hair and stuff, I think people just freaked out. And then all the rumors started of what happened to Bella Thorne. Did she sell her soul to the devil? It's almost the same situation that happened with Miley Cyrus. Everyone was so used to her being Hannah Montana that when she grew out of that lifestyle, everyone just freaked out. So over the course of her career, Bella's directed, came out with music and books. In one of her books, The Life of a Wannabe Mogul, Mental Disarray, she talked a lot about how dark the course of her life has been and how the past of her life really affected the events of her journey. And she shared that she was abused sexually from the ages 6 to 14. And she even made an Instagram post about her story. And of course, this is honestly heartbreaking. I'm so tired of me like judging other people before I get to know like their real story and why they do the things that they do. It's just so easy for us to judge celebrities because they're online and everything and they're an easy target. But it's like we know nothing about them and we know nothing about their actual story. And until we meet them face to face and get to know them, we will never know. And I forgot to mention, when Shake It Up ended, she only had like $200 left to her name. Now, Bella Thorne has been in quite a few scandals over the course of her career. An alleged hacker basically threatened to post her nudes online, and instead Bella actually posted her own nudes to take back her power. And Whoopi Goldberg kind of just went off and just let everyone know that she didn't approve of this whole situation.
If you're famous, I don't care how old you are, you don't take nude pictures of yourself. When they're hacking you, they're hacking all of your stuff. So whether it's one picture or a million pictures, once you take that picture, it goes into the cloud and it's available to any hacker who wants it. And if you don't know that in 2019, that this is an issue, I'm sorry, your age you don't get to do that.
But after she, talked about Bella Thorne in that way, Bella Thorne kind of like snapped back and made like a response video and then said she wasn't going on the show.
I'm not gonna lie, I want to say that I feel pretty disgusting. I feel pretty disgusting, Whoopi, knowing everyone's seen, like, my and I just want to say that me watching this interview made me feel really bad about myself, and I hope you're happy. I really do. I really hope you're so happy, because I can only imagine all of the kids who have their released and then they commit. And you're so crazy for thinking such terrible things on such an awful situation. Like, I don't really want to go on The View anymore because I don't really want to be beaten down by a bunch of older women for my body and my sexuality. I don't really feel like that. And so I'm going to cancel my interview because I don't really want you guys talking about your views to young girls, because I would not want my daughter to learn that, and I would never say that to her. Shame on you, Whoopi. Shame on you, and shame on you for putting that public opinion just out there like that for every young girl to think that they're disgusting for even taking a photo like that.
There was also a time where she said that she was going to do OnlyFans, and she would have, of course, like nudes on her account, and she made like millions of dollars from it. But people were really enraged with her because they were promised nudes and there weren't any nudes on her account. And I'm sorry, but isn't this so sad that this is like the forefront of our problems? Getting mad because a woman didn't post nudes after she said she she would on OnlyFans. Like, this is just so wild that we live in a world like this. But anyway, so many people requested refunds, and it was just such a big deal that OnlyFans itself had to change the rules of their policies because of what happened with this whole scandal. And I think that because it got so big, she did end up apologizing for it. And when it comes to cosmetic procedures, I don't think if she's ever admitted it, but I think it's pretty obvious that she's gotten lip filler. Like, the before and after pictures, I think should just speak for themselves. I mean, and even if we don't look at the before and after pictures, her lips just look like they've received filler, which you do you. Like, I really don't care what anyone gets done. I think as long as you come clean and admit what you've gotten done and, you know, don't lie to your fans that look up to you, I don't care. And it's also believed that she got a breast augmentation because even when she was still an adult, her chest area looked a lot different than it does now. And Bella Thorne has struggled a lot with cystic acne for a large portion of her life. And she opened up about how just negatively it affected her and her self-esteem until she started embracing it and just accepting that that's just a part of her. Now, I know that, like, I'm never gonna know the true 100% story of Bella Thorne, and neither will you guys watching either, because like I said, we simply just have not met her, so we don't know her like that. It's just so easy to judge other people that we know nothing about. And I think that the biggest thing to take away from this whole video or whatever is all we know is simply what people tell us, and that's it. And this, of course, wasn't like a whole video on her entire life, because I don't think I even talked about her and Tana's relationship. Like, there's like so many other like influencer like drama type stuff she's been in, but I didn't even cover it, but that's okay. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want me to cover other celebrities, just let me know down in the comments. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for staying to the end. And I upload every single Sunday, so I'll be back next week for my next video. Bye guys.